Hey everybody, this is Julie, the main stamper. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I am back with another video in my series called Mondays Are Hard, Stamping Shouldn't Be. And in this video series, I explore beautiful cards that require minimal supplies and minimal efforts to get those great results. So today's Monday card is this beautiful happy birthday card. And every Monday we create a card using just one stamp set. So all of those stamps in that card came from the Butterfly Wishes stamp set. There are actually 4 butterflies in this stamp set. We're going to use 3 out of 4 today. 2 of these butterflies will coordinate with a punch, but this is a minimal supply card. We're not going to use the punch. We're just going to use the stamp set. Along with our stamp set, we have 2 colors of ink. We've got Mango Melody and Basic Gray, so 2 ink pads, and we always use 2 colors of cardstock. We've got Smoky Slate and Whisper White. Very boring cardstock colors here today, right? White and gray, kind of boring, but when we add in that Mango Melody, we get a gorgeous, classic, beautiful looking card. So again, minimal supplies, 1 stamp set, 2 ink pads, and 2 colors of cardstock, and we're going to get this beautiful card. My Monday cards always go together super quick and easy. We're stamping and assembling, so follow me and let's get stamping. Okay guys, so to start our card, we grab our half sheet of cardstock and we fold it in half, use our bone folder to burnish the edge, and then I like to invert it and flip it around, and then go ahead and take that bone folder and burnish the edge again. That gives me a nice clean line for the inside, which I like. Today we're going to set aside that base, and we are going to start with our Whisper White, and we are going to bring in the Basic Gray ink first. And we're going to bring in the branch stamp. So we're going to get this stamped up and inked up, I should say, in the Basic Gray. And we're going to put this on our white cardstock, probably about halfway down or so. And we're going to get that. This is a stamp that on purpose has highs and lows in it. It's called a distinctive stamp. So I didn't miss getting ink in some of these spots. You can see from the stamp itself that it only collects ink in certain areas and leaves other areas shaded. So that's to add in a depth, which is kind of fantastic. Stampin' Up! Has quite a few of those kind of distinctive stamps. We are bringing in some Mango Melody, and we're going to bring in our big butterfly. I love this butterfly. He's flying kind of sideways, and I just think that is fantastic. So I'm going to put him in here, and I'm going to have him obviously toward the top, and he's going to be kind of heading into those branches a little bit, and I absolutely love him. I think he's gorgeous. Now, we're going to get into some different kind of stamping. We're going to do some 2nd and 3rd generation stamping. So I'm going to bring this one up just a little bit and bring in another layer right here. Now I'm going to bring in this flower stamp, and we're going to ink it in the mango, and we're going to try to get, we're going to get a border around this whole thing. So this was 1st generation stamping. I stamped it once here. Now I'm going to stamp it 2nd and 3rd on this one. So I'm going to stamp it once and again. So I'm getting lighter stamped images up here and the darker one down here. And I'm doing this on purpose so that I can get different colors of ink in my card using minimal supplies. So you're going to see me do 1st generation stamping along the edge, and then 2nd and 3rd stamping generation along this part of our card. So as you can see in the finished sample, this is what I'm doing. So again, I'm going to do 1st, and then I'm just going to, just add a little bit here and there to your heart's content, right? I mean, sometimes it's hard to stop. I feel like this is good on this one, so I'm not going to stamp any more generation stamping on this piece, but I am going to finish stamping this one around the outside edge, and this is all with just the 1st generation stamping, so it's a dark, nice border around the edge, and this piece is actually done, so I'm going to set it aside. And next we're going to bring in another piece of cardstock. This one's going to be our Smoky Slate, and we're going to bring in the Basic Gray stamp, Basic Gray ink. Wow, I'm having a hard time today with words. And we are going to bring in our phrase. The sentiment says, "A sweet friendship refreshes the soul." Now again, we're going to do some kind of technical stamping here. So on my Smoky Slate, I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to put one of these right along the top edge, and this is first generation stamping. Now I'm going to bring this over here and I'm going to do second and third generation stamping on this piece. So you can see it's very light over here, and that's the effect that I want. So I'm going to put another one along the top here, which I didn't do very well, but in theory I'm trying to get along the outside edges. So we're going to come along the next side here. I'm going to just turn this down this way and start heading this way. Now I'm going to first generation ink here, second and third on my card over here. So this one right here is completely beautiful. I love it. It's got a whole bunch of different colors. It's got a darker gray, lighter gray. It's got the mango and dark and then lighter because we did the generation stamping on it. This piece is actually done, so I'm going to set it aside, and we're going to finish working on stamping around the outside of our smoky slate here. So as you can see, I'm trying to get along the edges. I'm turning my cardstock because I feel like it's easier to turn the cardstock and stamp. Now, I'm at a spot where I could stamp here, but what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to rotate it one more time. So this last side, I'm going to start here in the top corner and stamp this part. And then I'm going to stamp down along this way, like this. And I kind of missed a little bit here, so I'm just going to overlap a tiny little bit on the bottom, but that way you've got stamping that goes all the way around and you didn't have to overlap too much. So that's how I got this fantastic part of the card stamped. So we've got a few things done, so let's do a little bit of layering. So we're going to bring in our basic smoky slate base, our card base, and we're going to bring in a layer of Whisper White. So this is just a plain piece of Whisper White paper. And this is going to be our first layer. So we're going to get some glue on this, or some adhesive, whatever adhesive you like. And this one is going to go onto our card base, just plain. It's a nice plain layer. And we're going to center that all along. And then we're going to bring in this piece that we just stamped with the words along the outside edge. And we're going to put this one on. So adhesive along the edges. And then we're going to add this one onto our card front as well. So you can see we've got gray and then white and then gray. So this is the beginnings of our card right here. All right, now we're going to set this one aside again, and we're going to bring in our sentiment piece. So this little piece right here is going to be done with a couple of butterflies. We've got a medium and a small butterfly coming in next. So the first one is the medium butterfly. I'm going to ink this butterfly in Mango Melody. I'm going to stamp it off to the side, right? And I'm going to get second generation ink over here. So I'm going to put it on here, and you're going to see he's a little bit lighter. So we're good with that butterfly. Now we're going to bring in the tinier butterfly, and we're going to stamp this in the Mango Melody. And this time we're going to use full ink, and we're going to try to get it centered over top of our butterfly. So you can see here that he has a couple of things going on, right? He's got the lighter and then the darker over top. And that turned out really nicely, so I'm happy with that. Now we're going to bring in the Happy Birthday Wishes stamp in the basic gray again, and we're going to stamp our sentiment, and we're going to have this just line up right here next to the butterfly very nicely. And these two pieces can be adhered together. So I'm going to flip this guy over, put a little bit of adhesive on the back of him, and then this one's going to go onto the center of this piece. So we made this nice dark flower border all around, and you saw that we left the middle open. I'm going to flip this over and just press it together here. And that just creates a nice pattern all around up and down here. So this piece can now be adhered onto this piece. So I'm going to add some glue here. And we're going to put this on this piece. Now, on purpose, I'm trying to leave a little bit of white on the bottom that has no stamping on it whatsoever, just plain white. So this will come up and cover a little bit of your branch, most likely, right? But I wanted to have just a white, plain little bit of white showing here. I think it looks really nice that way. And this layer is actually done and ready to go onto our card front. So we're now going to put some adhesive on here, and we're going to center this piece right over top of this piece. So you can see this one was just a lot of layering, a lot of just layers on layers on layers. But look at the fantastic result we got with just that minimal stamping. Absolutely gorgeous. So we've got the outside done. Now we're going to make the inside pretty too. So when I use a color card base, I do like to add a white insert. So for the insert today, I am bringing back in the basic gray ink, and I'm bringing back in my branch. And I like to do the stamping in the bottom corner here. And so we're just going to keep it kind of low toward the corner here. We don't want to take up too much room because we need room for additional sentiments and our well wishes. So I've got this one in there. I'm going to bring in the mango, and I'm going to bring in this medium butterfly that we used on the front. And again, I'm going to do a second generation stamping. So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to add him in down here in the corner. And that's the inside piece of our card, which is fantastic. Same colors as the front. And we're going to open this up. We're going to add a little bit of adhesive around the outside edges. And in it goes. Look at this. We're going to just center that on the inside. Here's the inside, and here's the outside. Beautiful cards. So guys, thank you so much for following me today while we made our beautiful happy birthday card with the Butterfly Wishes stamp set. I hope that you can see that minimal supplies and minimal efforts do create beautiful, fabulous cards. Feel free to swap out your stamps and swap out your colors and create cards with the same recipe. The recipe or card dimensions are found on my blog, themainstamper.com, and I share picture assembly there as well. So feel free to jump over there, grab that card recipe, get into your craft area, and create something beautiful. Remember, Mondays are hard. Stamping shouldn't be, right? So we don't want to make it difficult, but we want to get those great results every time. Follow me every week on a Monday, and I come up with a new card, a new recipe. We're going to use a different stamp set, some different colors. I change it all up. It's a lot of fun, super simple. I hope you're enjoying my series, and I hope that you're making great cards following along with me. Continue to tune in. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Monday, everybody. Bye.